Hello and welcome to Thursdays at 3. I'm Jen Wyatt and I'm your productivity coach. I'm here to help you simplify, organize, and prioritize the things that matter to you the most. So today we're going to be talking about how to achieve goals. It's something I've been writing about for a while, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart. I think that we all should actively have goals that we're working on. I think that it helps to keep us motivated, and it helps to keep us achieving towards bigger and larger goals. And so we're going to talk about how we can do that today. And along the way, I'm going to, just like I said, I've been doing goals for a while, and you only really get good at something when you do it often, right? So I'm pretty good at, or really good, I should say, at planning goals and achieving them. But you get really, really good at something when you fail a lot. So along the way, I'm going to share epic fails of mine of how I have tried to achieve goals and how I have failed. And if one thing you'll hear from me, if you stick around, is that the best way to learn how to get better at something and to improve and to grow is to fail. And for those of you who've known me for a long time know that's crazy talk coming from my mouth, but it really is the truth. It's really a lesson that I've learned recently, because, not recently, but over the last year or two, just really letting it sink in that I can't be a perfectionist. I can't have that mindset because it slows me down, it holds me back. But when I accept failure and I grab a hold of the lessons in that failure, then that's when I really start to grow and to change and to really shine. So hopefully you're on the same page with me with that. If not, then by all means, drop me a comment. You can comment on anything that I say and I will reply back to you, and I will talk to you about it. Again, I'm open to your ideas and your thoughts around it as well. So let's dive right into 6 ways to achieve your goals. And like I said, I'll share my epic fails along the way. So the first one is to create reasons, not excuses. Now this goes without saying, but a lot of the time we create excuses around things, but we think that they're reasons. So like, I don't have enough time in my day, or my kids are home during the summer, or I work too many hours. I don't have time for goals. So those sound like reasons, but they're really excuses. So what I mean by creating reasons, we want to create really good reasons. We want to dig into the why. Like every goal that you have should have attached to it a why statement. And that's really your vision. It's your end goal. It's, I am doing this so that I can achieve this. I will run every day so that I can, run a 5K, or I can be in better shape, or, we often make our goals be these big things, and they're so easy to find excuses that sound like really good reasons to not do them because our goals are often way too big. So we'll get to that in a minute. That's actually in number 4. But so create reasons, not excuses. You want to dig into your why, because when you tie your why, your purpose, it motivates you, because when we often don't feel like doing our goals, and that's okay, but we have to overcome that feeling if we're ever going to get to finish that goal. We can't just speed through everything. Okay, so number 2, don't obsess and get addicted to planning. Now here's where I've had an epic fail. Of course, I've created plenty of really good reasons that were really excuses for sure over my lifetime, but I suffer from number 2 often. It's why I want to talk about it. So don't obsess or get addicted to planning. Not whenever, because I don't do this now, but it used to be that when I would I'd feel all of a sudden like, oh, I need to have all these goals, or I need to refresh my goals, or I wrote goals down 6 months ago and I'm not really doing much on them, so I want to refresh that. I go out and I buy another planner. And then I will spend hours, if not a whole entire day, filling out that planner, and feeling really good and really motivated for a couple days, and then it fizzles out. Why? Because I haven't really created good reasons, but I'm also addicted to that planning process. And hopefully, I mean, if I'm the only crazy person here that has ever done that, then I'll own that, because I know that it's something that I have struggled with in the past, or I really watch it. I can do the same thing with information. Like, if I want to change something in my life, I can spend, $100 on books from Amazon and take 20,000 trainings, and that's an exaggeration. Probably not the Amazon book purchase part, but definitely the hours of training. Trying to figure it out without really being specific, but just feeling like I needed to know more so I could move forward. Those kind of symptoms it's an addiction to planning. So yes, I'm a card-carrying planning addict, but I've learned that about myself, and so I've been able to, I failed enough at plans, right? That's one of my epic failures, where I have books and books and books of planners. Like I stated, I think last week, I seriously have 20 planners. I just cleaned out my office and my office closet, and I found 20 planners from the past that I tucked away. But again, it's an addiction to planning. So just watch that. If you feel yourself wanting to move forward in a goal and you're feeling stuck, and then you keep going back to, okay, well, I have to figure out how to do this. Most of the time, it's because we haven't laid out the plans well to begin with. And if you're in my Jumpstart productivity group, I'm actually, in a half an hour, going to be talking about how to actually lay out a goal. So if you're not in that group, you can jump in there. It's free. It's just a productivity community. But, so anyway, so I get there's ways to plan a goal and ways to incorporate them into your day, so you don't always have to feel like, oh, I'm stuck now. No, I have to go back to the beginning and plan. And sometimes that's all it is, but for me, seriously, it was an addiction to planning. Okay, third thing is to write it down. And I'm not just talking about putting it in Asana or, Noseby or whatever kind of planner that you use online, Trello. There's tons of them. It's great to have them in there. It's great if they have alerts on them so you can kind of see where you're at. But I mean, write it down. Grab a piece of paper and write down your goals. I provide lots of paper templates so you can fill in the blanks. It's like a worksheet. You can use a regular journal, I forget what they're called. Oh, a composition book. Those are really good because they're small, they're thinner, they're not big and bulky. But write it down, because there's something, and I don't have the scientific fact in front of me. I should have pulled it up before this, so I'm sorry. But there's something that happens kinetically from our brain to the paper when we actually physically write it down. Now, in our age of technology, we've gotten totally away from the act of writing things down. And I know that when I'm really struggling with something, I want to journal it out, I write it out as opposed to typing it out. Typing is great, it's quick, it's fast. We can often type faster than we can write, and we could definitely talk faster than we could type. But there's just something that happens chemically in our brain and our body. It causes us to remember the goal more. It causes us to feel more connected to it. So when I mean write it down, I mean write it down. Pick up a pen, a piece of paper, and write it down. The fourth thing is to break it up. And I kind of mentioned this already. Oftentimes we have a goal like run a marathon, and that's our goal. And that goal hangs around in the air. It hangs around on our planner, and you keep moving it because you haven't run that marathon yet. Now, most of us know that you have to train to run a marathon, and I'm using that as kind of a broad example. I totally have done this. This is one of my epic fails. Early on in my working days, I would just be like, I'm going to plan my New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to, lose 20 pounds. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to be healthy. Okay, those are my goals. And a couple weeks in, I don't know what those goals mean. I haven't spent the time to break it down. I haven't put it into, chunks of pieces of little bite-sized things that I can achieve every single day. And so of course I'm going to fail. And that's not saying, oh, hey, you're a failure, you didn't achieve that. But it was a total epic fail for me because I did it frequently. Well, next year I'm going to have the same goals because I didn't complete them last year. I haven't run that marathon yet. But to run a marathon, you first must run, right? You first must achieve, running 1 mile consistently, then 2 miles. And I'm a runner. I've talked about it a few times on here. It's actually really, I have, maybe I'll share that story in here again sometime. It's just it was a great connecting piece for me and things that I was struggling with, but I had to break it down. And the first, I don't know, 3 months of running, I literally, running, like, I have to force myself to run. It's really, really good for you to run. And so I was like, okay, I have to do this. And I enjoy it now. But at the beginning, I didn't. And I had to force myself to go. And I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to run like 2 miles. And this is going to just be terrible. And I don't know. I'm going to stop. And, I had all this thinking and this mindset around it. And so I broke it down. I'm going to run for 1 minute, and then I'm going to walk for 2 minutes. I'm going to run for 1 minute and walk for 2 minutes. And then it was running for 1 minute, walking for 1 minute. Then it was running for 2 minutes, walking for 1 minute. Until I got up to running for 5 minutes and then walking for 1 minute. And then one day I looked at my husband and I said, okay, I think I'm ready. And he goes, I know you're ready. You've been doing this for like months. And I was like, I'm going to ready. And I ran 2 miles straight without stopping the first time. And it was incredible. And now I run 5 to 6 times a week. And I run 2 to 3 miles a day. Sometimes I run more than that. I've run in a 5K. I have a goal to run in both of the Disney half marathons. Coming up, I need to do them both in the same year. So I've just been waiting for the timing to be right. But I'm still continuing to train. But I wouldn't have been able to make even that 5K goal if I hadn't started running every single day and doing what I knew that I could achieve. And then when I achieved it, building on that. So that's what I mean by breaking it up. Because really, it leads right into number 5, and that's to take 1 step each day. So even if you're working on your goal for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're still achieving in that goal. I read a couple months ago in a book, and if I could find the book in the quote, I'll put it in the notes. But basically, it's if you can improve every day by 1% on something, then at the end of the week, you're 7%. At the end of 2 weeks, you're 14%. And sometimes we focus so much on achieving this big, big goal that we're like, okay, this is, I'm looking at the end goal and I'm running towards that. And, then stuff happens. It's like, I'll get back to it. And then we don't. And then we have this conversation, this story that we build. Well, I didn't achieve it last time, so I'm not going to be able to achieve it now. I've done this a lot with my weight loss. It's like, I need to lose like 20 pounds. And it's like, okay, I can do this. But then I eat a cookie. And then I think, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. And I'll never be able to do this. And so then, but if I focus every single day on making sure that, to lose weight, you exercise more or you spend more calories than you eat. Okay, so that's what I watch. Component of that is drinking water. So I have a little chart. There's little things that we can do each day to help us achieve our goal and to keep us focused. So just remember that. Break it up and then take 1 step each day. So that's why those goals have to be broken down really small, and that doesn't make them insignificant. It just creates building blocks for us to be able to go on to this thing and the next thing and the next thing. So the last thing I want to talk about is accountability, because long ago, in a galaxy far away, I'm kind of a nerd, sorry, I thought I could do everything on my own, that I was so amazing. I'm kidding. But, I don't need a coach. I don't need a mentor. I don't need somebody, I don't need an accountability partner. I've got this. Well, guess what? I didn't get this. All right. I spiraled and I achieved some, but because I didn't have someone there that was like cheering me on and holding me accountable and seeing what I couldn't see, then, I didn't get where I wanted to go when I wanted to get there, and it took me 2 or 3 times longer. So I think I mentioned it last week or the week before, but getting an accountability partner or having a coach or a mentor is probably one of the best things you can do to help you achieve your goals. I personally have a coach because I think every good coach should have a coach. So I've had a coach, 2 different ones over the last couple of years. And I have a few people that I allow to speak into my life that watch my Facebook Lives, that give me feedback. Again, not that I want to take in their opinion, but I value them seeing what I don't see because that helps me grow. And I could take in their information and say, okay, yes, I see what you're saying, or this is where I was coming from, maybe you misunderstood. You know, you can have a conversation. It's not about taking a direct order from somebody. It's about being accountable and being held to what you said you were going to do, and that's powerful. So with that, I am going to let you go at your goals, and I will just drop in a link. I still have my Being Barbie program open. I actually have someone who's going through it with me right now, and it's a short it's a 90-minute program, but we broke it up into 3 30-minute sections. And just the accountability and the digging into what's important and where you want to go. And then tomorrow we're going to build our map. It's just been, I guess I haven't really talked about the process too much. But basically we spent some time and I give you some journaling stuff about how, you know, what do you want to achieve and what do you want your world to look like. And then we kind of go through all these steps and we really dig in, and then we create a plan. And again, it's something you totally could do on your own, but will you? I mean, that's the thing. I know when I have downloaded tons and tons of do-it-yourself planning systems that, again, like I said last week, are sitting dusty on my shelf. It's not until I got accountability. So I'm really passionate about accountability, not just because I'm a coach, but because I know that it works. So anyways, go have your goals, get things done, be productive, take some time for yourself. I took a couple hours this afternoon before coming live just to hang out with my kids because it's summer, and I planned that into my day, into my schedule to be able to spend that time with them. To me, that's what planning, what passion, planning. When I talk about your why, that's what planning does for me, is it gives me that space to say, I got this done today, and now I can do this with my kids. And so that's what planning and productivity really means to me. So that's it in action. If you're part of my Jumpstart Your Productivity group, then jump over there. I'm going to be in there at about 3:30 Eastern Time, and we're going to be talking about specifically how to write down your goals. All right, well, have a great and productive day, and I will see you next week.